What's today? What's today? Thirsty Thursday. I hope all you ninjas are having a wonderful Thirsty Thursday yourselves. It is a beautiful morning, but quite chilly. Actually, it's warmed up a little bit by now, but on my very first yard early this morning, I froze my fingers on the mower. So when I had to trim, I had to grab gloves because I couldn't feel my fingers. So yeah, it's cold. It's cold. Get it? Get it? It's cold. Just finished with this little granny yard right here. Looking good, looking good. But today's video, perfect to start with. I was actually debating on starting the video a little bit later in the middle of the day, but hey, this is important, so listen up. So when I pulled up at this granny yard right here, I had a lady walking all the way from that house over there towards my truck. I thought at first she was just walking. She was gonna walk past me. You know, sometimes a lot of people in the neighborhoods do their little morning walks before it gets kind of warm. And the next thing I know, she's standing right here next to me. So I opened my window and she said, "Hi, we're looking for a lawn care company to maintain our yard. We have a guy," which I have seen the guy mowing over there before, and we've had him for several years, and he's just, we believe he just does the minimum, and you know, we just feel like we're not getting our money's worth, and the few emails that we send him, some of the things that he missed, he just ignores it and tells us later he didn't receive the emails, and blah 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 blah. Could you go ahead and quote us and help us and ninjas? I said, "No, ma'am, I can't. I apologize. I'm booked." That's right. I turned that customer down. She did the little walk of shame back to her house. Now, if you're probably wondering, "But Nick, why did you do that? Why would you turn down a potential customer, especially when it's in the neighborhood where you already got one yard?" Well, ninjas, that house is two ladies. I believe they're sisters. I don't know. And they did the same thing to me. I think they don't recognize me because of the wrap on the truck. So they think I'm a completely different company. But she walked over and she said, "This yard looks absolute top notch all the time. You just do such a great job. And we want your quote and your services." And I said, "No, ma'am, I can't. I'm booked." But why did I turn it down? Well, last year, they did the same thing. And I said, "Absolutely, I'll go give you a quote." I walked around the whole house. They showed a bunch of things, shrubbery, gutter cleaning, all that. And, you know, they had a whole list written out what they wanted. And I said, "No problem. I'll definitely get all this to you. I'll get you quotes and, you know, and all that." And she said, "Well, the last guy included gutter cleaning in his mowing." And I told her right then and there on the spot, I said, "Well, I don't know what he did or why he did that, but I can't include gutter cleaning free with your mowing. I mean, I'm not." And she looked at me and she said, "Why not?" And I said, "Because it's an additional service." I said, "Anytime I go up on any kind of roof, it's a safety situation." I said, "I got to charge for my time and the risk factor and all those things." And I could already tell right there it didn't sit well with her, but she kind of shrugged it off a little. And I kind of like, it was like a red flag, right? But anyway, I gave her the price and all that. She kind of negotiated with me on the price a little. And I was like, "Yeah, okay, whatever. We're pretty close." So we struck a deal. I told her I'll be there next week. To make this a long story short, okay, I don't want to just this whole video talk about these two crazy ladies, but I contact her the following week and I said, "I'm on my way to do your yard." And she messages, I guess the gutter cleaning charge didn't sit well with her, and the fact that we had to negotiate a little bit on the pricing of the mowing didn't sit well with her neither. Probably nothing sits well with them, but she calls me as I'm en route and says, and believe me, last year she said the same thing about this guy. Same thing. He's not dependable. Doesn't really show up on time. I don't think he just does the minimum. He's not really, he doesn't have the eye for it, which is her exact terminology. And anyway, so as I was en route, she calls me back and says, "I'm sorry, Nick. We went ahead and went back with him. We just know him. He's done our yard for a long time. We couldn't get a hold of him there for a while, and he finally called us back. I guess he was behind, so we're just going to stick with him while I'm en route to take care of their yard." And that really rubbed me the wrong way. So I never called her back. I showed up in this neighborhood and I took care of this yard right here. the one that I just took care of right now. Whatever. See, when people do you dirty and when they do you wrong, forgive, but never forget. Just finished with this one. Small little granite yard, nothing to it. But now we're gonna be headed to the new one that I quoted last week. And he's supposed to, hopefully they're done. He said there's a fencing company there that supposedly are installing a backyard fence. I don't know. If they've already finished it, I hope they left a big enough gate. But I've been going hard, man. Been going hard. Luckily, it's not hot out here. It's been 50 degrees all day, plus wind chills, so it feels like 40. I took off this jacket at 1 yard, and I made 2 passes with the mower, and I stopped, and I had to get it. I had to put the jacket back on. It was just cold. Look at that yard. Man, that's nice. Ooh, that is nice. Some nice grass. But this is the yard. A lot of you ninjas will remember when I walked around it. Man, they got all their stuff everywhere. I don't know, ninjas. I may just text them and tell them I'll be back tomorrow or something. I mean, they literally got their stuff everywhere. Yeah, they got the lines and all kinds of things. Looks like I'm gonna pass up on this. I don't want to. It's just a hassle. When you see a company working like this, you know, we're just gonna be in each other's way. They'll have to stop what they're doing to move their stuff, or I'll have to get their attention to move their stuff, or I'll have to move their stuff. It's just not the right thing to do. I'm just gonna have to text them and tell them, hey man, I'll be back tomorrow. That's if they're not done today and they end up being here tomorrow again. All right, I guess I will be able to get 2 more. What do you do? Just got to these 2. I'm not even going to record this one. It's such a small little granny yard. But I'll definitely pull the truck down, and when we go do that one, and I'll get you some footage in the front yard. What I wanted to tell you is I have been using the Bumblebee all day today, except for 2 yards that I had to use the sgninjas mower, but no problems, no issues, nothing. So I think, ninjas, we fixed the problem. I really believe that. I mean, not even the slightest sign of trying to die on me or anything like that. Matter of fact, while we're talking, let's take a look over here. Well, well, well. Will you look at that? It's going down. Who would have thought? A small little thing like that can cause a huge chaos. So I think I'm comfortable to say that it's been resolved. But you never know. I'll believe it if it lets me finish the rest of this week with no issues. Then I'll concrete that in. But let me knock this one out, and we'll see you down there. What's up, ninjas? What's up? What's up? Hey, that was a freaking overgrown yard. Tried to get as much footage as I could, but I had to constantly stop because the grass was constantly getting on the lens. That was a really overgrown yard. That's because that was a first cut of the year. You know, they're on a schedule now, but man, that yard, whew, that was tall. It was mostly weeds. I ran into a couple of yards just like that today, which were just first time cuts. So it took me a little longer. So I only got 12 today, believe it or not. I was hoping for about 15. But it is what it is. I'm done. Calling it a wrap. I'm headed home. But I wanted to stop right here and conclude the video. And I mean stop right here where I'm stopped. Speaking of denying customers and declining service and having to refuse service or whatever you want to call it. You see this house right here, ninjas? You see this house? Take a real good look at it. Are you done? Okay, well, that's enough. This house, ninjas, I remember this house years ago. They called me for a quote. And this was back then when I was only running sit-down mowers. And this was right, I think when I had 2 hustlers. And that's the only thing I had at the time. And, you know, we talked over the phone. I came out and checked out the property. And when I saw this property, I went, OMG. There is no way in heck I can put a sit-down mower on this hill. And I sure as heck wasn't going to push mow it or weed eat it, because I mean, the timing there, and they weren't going to pay for what I would have had to quote it if I was just push mowing this yard. So kind of like how I turned that customer down this morning. I actually remember his name, if it's still the same owners, but his name was Todd. And I had to call him and I said, Todd, and you know, if you ever come in a situation like this, ninjas, just be honest with them. Just be upfront, you know, just be, you know, straight to the point. You get the idea. And I said, Todd, I am so sorry, man. I checked out your property. I only have 2 sit-down mowers, and I can't put those mowers on this hill. And I said, you know, I even told him, I said, my only other option would have been to push mow. And I think he wanted a bi-weekly service. And I was like, bi-weekly push mowing on a hill like this? I'm not really eager to take on an account like that. And what I would quote you, I said, I don't think you would want to pay. And look, he was very cool. From what I remember, the conversation was great. He was like, Nick, I totally get it. Thank you for coming out and looking at it. You know, don't sweat it. I appreciate your time. And I told him, I said, hey, down the road in the future, if you ever need me, check in with me a couple of years from now. Maybe I'll have a different setup or something. But now that I'm running with stand-on mowers, this is a joke. I mean, this is nothing. I could totally take on this property. So now you ninjas know why I run stand-on mowers. Hey, in the next video, we're going to talk about why I bought the Bumblebee. I haven't forgotten, man. I've just been really busy. And concluded on the Spartan situation and my final opinion on the Spartan and all that. Okay, we'll probably do this in the next video. Maybe tomorrow. Okay, you never know. Never know. But yeah, that's why stand-on mowers have really changed my business. You know, it's opened doors to accounts that I normally couldn't do in the past. I'd have to turn them away and, you know, decline. Kind of like I declined this Karen this morning. I know I didn't have the camera. You guys didn't hear her talking, and I didn't even really record it. Hey, if you want to go check me out on Instagram, follow me at sg_ninjas_official. I actually captured it on a story post as she's walking away from my truck. And but I think it's 2 sisters, and they are Karens. I'm not gonna lie to you, they are Karens. But yeah, you know, I'm not playing any games. I'm not gonna have you ditch me, throw me to the curb after you hired me and I was headed to your property, and last second you want to say, well, you know, we're gonna go back to the guy that we couldn't get a hold of for a month. Yeah, okay. And now you want to walk up to me and say, can you cut our yard? Like I said earlier to you ninjas, I really think she thinks it's a different company because of the wrap on the truck. She thought it was somebody else, because if Tiny was the regular color that Tiny is, she probably wouldn't have walked over, because she knows darn well what she did to me. Yeah, she did that little Karen walk of shame. Walk of shame, Karen. You know, look, I was professional with her. Don't get me wrong. I was professional with her. I said, look, I'm booked. I'm sorry. I can't help you. And I told her, I said, you know, if I took you on, I may end up being like the guy you're trying to get a hold of right now, and I don't want to be that guy. She's like, I don't think he wants to be that guy. I said, well, but he is, isn't he? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. Well, I'm not. You know, if you hire me and you let me take care of your property. See, when you hire... Oh my gosh, I don't want this to turn into another long video, ninjas. I apologize. But when I get hired, hey, look at that. Somebody's home. When customers hire me, like I said in that very long video, if you guys have watched it, where I was quoting those big properties, you're not just hiring another grass cutter. All right? There's so much more that I deliver and bring to the table with the service that I offer, which is grass cutting. The communication, the relationship, the loyalty, the commitment, the, you know, trust, knowing who you have around your house, whether you're home or not, you don't have to worry about it. And one of the biggest ones besides loyalty, which is loyalty is on top of it all, is honesty, man. If something happens around that property and I see it and I did it, I'm gonna let that customer know, because but unless I just don't see it. If I don't see it, I don't see it. But if I do something, it's not intentional, but I'm not leaving that property until I let them know that I did it, or I think I did it, and I'll take care of it. So there's so much more that you ninjas have to bring to the table besides just grass cutting. That's just the service that you offer. You have to bring more to the table. You do those things, ninjas, and like I told you this morning, people will fight for you. Word of mouth spreads. Okay? Customers have neighbors and friends, and they talk, you know. Hey, Becky, let me tell you about my lawn guy. I'm just saying. So, ninjas, hope you enjoyed a little bit there, and thank you for tuning in for another one. Don't be scared to turn them Karens away, or Kevins. But like I said, 10 years ago, I would have taken on any yard that I could. Not anymore. So, we'll see you in the next one.
Saving green.
Take care. Peace.
Saving